talking about it. So for those of you that don't know, it was an extremely successful weekend. Not only did we raise over $16,000 directly for food share, but the people that participated in the market actually did quite well, considering it was the first time. And the gallery did well. The gallery did probably twice what it normally does on a Saturday and Sunday. And the market did really quite well. I think every artist that sold there or displayed sold, if I'm not mistaken, right, Stacy? And the people that sold both days, some of them did unbelievable. I don't know if she's here tonight, but our new member, Wendy, right, Wendy? Wendy did it for her first show with the Guild, did very, very well. And it was really successful. And a lot of the people that came for the Bowl of Thanks were like, well, you're going to do this here next year, right? So we definitely will have a following. And a big thanks to everybody in the Guild who donated bowls. We ended up with 712 bowls, and we sold 663 of them.
That's phenomenal.
Unfortunately, we only had 450 passports, so some people were a little bit disappointed because they really wanted to try all that food. So hopefully next year we'll have them, the restaurants might be willing to add more tastes to the event. But it went really well, and the harbor was extremely supportive. They did a great job too. No complaints, other than we did not have enough volunteers. And there was a very small team that did a whole lot of work. I actually cashiered all day by myself on Sunday because we didn't have anybody volunteer to help. And that was a little tough. But other than that, it was fabulous.
Yeah, we had a 9-year-old helping us out. That's where we were at.
Yeah,
she did a great job stamping those receipts, let me tell you. Yeah, I think next year we're going to need to start planning sooner. Maybe get one of the colleges involved, and if by a certain time we don't have enough of a team put together to do it, we just won't do it because it's just not sustainable to do it the way we did it this year. But I'm very hopeful that next year we can build on the momentum that we have from this past year.
And I think we'll maybe change the hours. We had it from 10 to 5. We definitely don't want to go any later than 5 o'clock because it starts to get cold and dark. But we might think about moving it to 11 to 5. I think we would do just as well. And the restaurants don't open till 11.
Yeah. And maybe we want to stop at 4. But anyway, we'll figure all that out.
I think if you stopped a little bit earlier, it'd probably be better.
Yeah, I think 11 to 4 is good. And yeah, that 10 o'clock start time kind of didn't make sense once we got there.
And it was really dark and cold at the end. So these are things that we evolve. But I personally think now we have to get lucky with the weather every year, but that's true everywhere. But I think we could do as well as we do in Ojai in a couple of years, as long as we have nice weather. And it was a great event, and I want to add my thanks to everybody that participated in that. Nini wants to say something about the Beatrice Center for the Arts.
Yes, we had a very successful show this year, thanks to everybody that participated. And already we have a theme for next year, and we have our dates set. So it's a bit earlier this year. He was booked later in the year. So our show is going to run May 24th to July 6th. So you need to start thinking because your applications need to be completed by the May 4th. And the theme is small treasures. So everything needs to fit within an 8-inch square. So that was chosen by Kevin. So I think that might be kind of fun. So it doesn't matter what you're doing as long as it's no longer or bigger or wider than 8 inches. So
you mean an 8-inch cube? An 8
Yeah.
inch cube, not a
Yeah,
square.
fit within that. Oh, cube, well,
8 by 8
whatever.
by 8.
8 inches.
Yeah.
By eight,
We
by eight, by eight.
we did small treasures before.
Well, he didn't think we had, so I didn't argue it.
Yeah, no, we did. That was the first one I entered. But that's
Okay, so, but it's been a few years. Originally, we were gonna be closer to, November, December. That's why he chose that theme, thinking, small treasures for, gifts for people. But then he discovered that he already had that date booked. And so we got the May to July, May 24th to July 6th. So Foz, be sure that if we're going to do a pit fire in May, that we don't pit fire the weekend of May 24th, because that would be the opening reception.
May 24th to what was the closing date? I'm sorry.
July 6th. So we'll get more information in the newsletter next year.
Fire pieces were very popular at the Ventura Pottery Market.
All right, that's me. That's all.
Okay, now let's look forward. Is Judy here? Do we see Judy? Do I miss Judy?
Yeah, Judy's here.
Yes, I'm here.
Judy,
This-
Judy's gonna talk about membership. It's that time of year again.
Okay. Well, hi, everybody. I want to tell everybody that we're going to be going online December 1st to sign up for membership, and you have until the end of February. Am I correct, Foz? The end of February to sign up. And if any of you have not done team service, you need to go online and you need to sign up for something ASAP. All right? And there's a questionnaire. The questionnaire has been kind of modified. It's a little simpler, and it should be much easier for everybody to do it. And that's about it for membership.
We'll be sending out an announcement, reminding you of the December 1st release. And we're going to give you a draft of the questions so that you can out your answers, because this data is really important to us. People think like, well, why are you asking all these questions? You don't ever look at it, but that's not true. Because we have Club Express, we actually have a database, and various times we've run queries on the database to be able to find people to fill certain positions or whatnot, and looking for certain specific skills. So, and we also want to get your feedback. We want to know what you want from your guild, what you like from your guild, what your comments or suggestions are for the guild. So we'll send the questions out a little bit earlier so you can take some time to look at them and think about it. And the other thing is that the fees have not gone up.
Oh,
It's
that's what I meant to say.
the
They're the
only
same.
anti-inflationary thing that's going on. So. Okay.
But the prices will not come down next year, just so everybody knows that. Oh, did I see something not correct? Sorry.
Did you just want to give a quick update on the jury?
Yeah, so we're almost done with the second jury cycle of 2024. The first jury cycle of 2025 the applications will go out early January. And then the first critique, I'm not sure. I think it's in February, maybe in March. I'm in my head, and my head isn't clear about that. But it's we do 2 cycles a year. So the first one, the apps are in January, the final jurying is in June, and then the next cycle starts in July.
So for all of those people that are contemplating, and you don't have to be a plus member, you can be a regular member to be juried, and then you can upgrade later if you want. For all of those people that are thinking about applying for the process that begins in January, they should look in the newsletter. And what else? Should they start thinking about their pieces and maybe taking some photos to get ready?
There's still documents on the jury page that are 98% correct. There are a few small tweaks that need to be done to them. But the application is not available yet. You can't apply to the next jury cycle until January. And there'll be a notice of the date.
But they could start looking at their pieces, deciding which ones they want to submit and start taking photos, that kind of thing, right?
Look at the documents. They tell you the whole process. They tell you what you need to do. And if you have questions, just send an email to jury@vcpg.com.
All right.
Or,
Oz and Terry.
or vcpg.org.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. vcpg.org.
Right. Okay, Foz and Terry, up to you now to talk about the holiday party, and I don't know if there's anything else.
Okay, well, the holiday party is going to be the second Saturday in December.
14th.
Yeah. And
I
it's
thought
our
it was the 7th.
no.
That's the studio sale at my house, at my studio.
Okay.
Everybody's invited to that too.
Foz put together this this inspirational piece of luminaries, which is the clay challenge, the clay challenge for this time around, and we'll just like play this. It's brief.
What time is the party, Terry?
It's from 2 to 5. Is the music playing? I'm just curious.
No.
No.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of a problem we have with, anyway, it doesn't matter, it's just music. It's from 2 to 5, and if anybody came to the annual meeting in October, it's basically the same time frame as that.
I like the owls.
The same place, same potluck and everything. But we're gonna show and talk about the luminaries that we make. The gift exchange won't be of the luminaries. we had suggested that before, but we decided that we wouldn't impose that you have to give away the luminary that you made. So just bring them, show them. If it's new, it's old, whatever, it doesn't matter. We just want to see them. And we're going to set up a table in there with the luminaries on it. And if it's a candle powered, great. If it's electric, if you need electricity because you have a bulb in there or something, then we'll have some power strips. But anyway, that's the party itself is going to be run by Meredith Roy, whatever her last name is. And so she'll figure out what exactly we're doing with it. But basically, we're going to show our luminaries. We're going to have a gift exchange, and we're going to have a potluck. Now, this year, we're going to do something a little different for the potluck. We're going to go to this page where we sign up for what you're bringing. That way, you know what other people are bringing. I'm going to just show you another setup that my cactus and succulent club does. So their holiday party is on the 4th, and people have signed up, and it's just a great way to get your taste buds going and figure out what you want to bring to see what everybody else is bringing. So let's go back to ours. There's a link to this in the calendar listing for the holiday party. It's fairly straightforward. I've got this this window in my way. Let me move some things around. Okay. Okay. It's really a pretty straightforward URL. It's whosbringingwhat.com/VCPG. You can ignore that index part. That's not really necessary. So that's what the URL is. And in case you at the last minute, you say, oh, I forgot to sign up, I don't have the link. Well, that's what the link is. So just to sign up, just click on, like if you're going to bring an appetizer, click on sign up, and you'll put your name and what you're bringing, and and click add, and it'll show up. If you're bringing somebody else, you would put 2 here, and that helps tally up down here how many people are coming. We also added because we want some power strips for the luminary display. Sign up here if your luminary needs electricity, so we know that there's, you need a plug. And then these are items that I already set up, but nobody has signed up for. So if you can bring a power strip, you can click on one of these. But otherwise, I think it's pretty straightforward as to what as to how to work it. Now, if you were at the annual meeting, you've been there and you know how it works. But if not, this will tell you what the deal is. It's at the corner of Johnson and Telephone in Ventura. It's one of these walled, gated communities, and I reserved the clubhouse for our event through the the homeowners association, and as part of that, they have the gate opened, and they'll leave it open for 2 hours so that everybody can get there without having to call or punch a code in or anything. If for some reason you show up at 4 o'clock and it's closed, just text somebody that you know, and we'll open it for you. So anyway, there's parking all around the complex, and the clubhouse is right straight ahead. It's a nice big room with a kitchen and countertops for the food. Anyway, did I forget anything, Foz?
No, I think that sounds good. We just need, please take the time to get your registration in so we know that more than Sue Klein is coming.
Well, she signed up on the calendar before I put this thing up.
Yeah.
So maybe we don't really need you to sign up on the calendar if you sign up here, because
Well, that's what I'm saying is right now we know one person's coming. So
yeah, well, if you would sign up here instead of on the calendar, because we were interested in knowing what food you're bringing.
Okay.
Any questions?
So we'll see you all there.
Yeah, there's
With
still
bells
time to
on.
put luminary.
Okay. All right. Does anyone, and you're going to have to talk because I've got 2 screens here, so I can't see everybody at once. So you're going to have to speak up. Is there anyone else that has any announcements or anything they want to bring before the group real quick before we move to our presentation?
Yes. I just want to say that on December 6th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, the Studio Channel Islands Art Center, where my studio is having their holiday market. And there's 40 artists there. And there'll be food trucks there, and music, and different activities, if anyone's interested in coming. And that's in Camarillo. Okay.
Send some information to Terry and she could put that on the community calendar.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's exactly what we want on the community calendar.
Okay.
While you're at Judy's show, then you can come to my studio and there's going to be folks from here there as well.
Absolutely. You can have a whole ceramic thing. Oop, gotta shut my thing off.
Anybody else have any kind of announcement or anything? Because otherwise we're gonna head to Japan without leaving the comfort of our homes. Yes, Terry, what?
Okay, since Judy talked about that thing that she's in, and you talked about the thing that you're in, this is the season that people are doing those kinds of things, and we have this community calendar. So let me know and I'll put it on the calendar. It's strictly for outside events, and if you participate in something, we want to populate that community calendar with cool stuff.
So
okay,
just to add in that if you don't know what we're talking about, if you go to the Guild homepage, which is where the public lands. If they put in vcpg.org or looks for Pottery in Ventura, they go to the home page. And on the right-hand side of that home page, we have guild events, but underneath it, it says community events. So the public can go there. And we're training our public through work that Ellen does at the gallery, etc., to go look at our page. So it'll show up here, not only for just our members to know about what's going on, it will also be there for any member of the public that gets to this page and gets them then to a place where pottery is being sold. So it's a good thing.
It's a really great thing. It's a really great way to sort of reach out to the community. Okay. Last call for anyone that has any interruptions, announcements. Before we move on before we leave and go to Japan. Okay. All right. Foz, I turn it over to you.
Thank you. So I'm back in the country since Wednesday. So it's I said to people before when we were at the gathering time, if I start like nodding off, please alert me that I need to get back to consciousness and finish this program. So some of you know I spent 6 weeks in Japan last year, and I just got back from spending another 6 weeks. My focus on my travel was basically twofold. One, I wanted to explore ceramics, and two, I wanted to sit in onsen or hot springs water. Food was okay, it was kind of on the list, but it was not my priority. I think all of us know that Japan is known for its ceramics around the world. On the island of Kyushu, that's where porcelain really had its birthplace in Japan, because Japanese brought or kidnapped Korean potters over and made use of the quarries that were on that island. So they're really known for that. There's lots of towns where there's just really good local clay. And so pottery became one of the ways in which people could meet functional wear needs for their community, as well as develop sources of income. Everything in Japan that's fired or cooked is called yaki. So when you go around and you say you're looking for ceramics, you're looking for yaki. So you're looking for the town name. So I'm looking for Seto yaki, or I'm looking for Mashiko yaki. That's just how it's called. And they're made with local clays. And each area has their own traditional style and or traditional uses. If you go to a place like Tokonami, they made industrial products. So they made pipes, they made large containers, and they were unique in Japan for that kind of manufacturing. And it had a lot in part to do with the kind of clay that was there. So there's 6 towns that have been recognized by the Japanese government for hundreds of years of ceramic production. And it's because through archaeological excavations, they've found pots that go back 500, 600, 800 years, 1,000 years. And again, it's the clay and it's the function. Those 6 towns were identified in 1971 as Shigaraki, Seto, Tokoname, Imbe, Ichizen, and Tamba. All right. Now, why are we talking about Mashiko tonight? Well, Mashiko has also been recognized as a site of historic significance in the ceramic world and within Japan's tradition. Yet it's not because of their long history in ceramics. There's archaeological evidence, but it is recognized because of one of its residents, Shoji Hamada. So Hamada trained in pottery at the Tokyo Industrial College. He was born in 1923. So he trained, and while he was there as a student, he went to an exhibition. And at that exhibition, he saw the work of an English potter, Bernard Leach. He was so fascinated with Leach's work that he pursued getting an invitation to meet with Leach. They formed quite a camaraderie. And Leach actually invited Hamada then to come to England, to St. Ives, and learn about English pottery and pottery in Europe. In the 20s, they formed a studio in St. Ives. Leach and Hamada opened it up together. And Hamada was 25 when he went, so he was really a young man, but someone that was very committed and interested in ceramics. When he returned to Japan, he returned to Mashiko, and there he created a studio and a kiln for his work. He was committed to using local clays and local materials to create glazes. He would try something and experiment a little bit with it. If it spoke to his heart, he pursued it. If it didn't touch him, he just let it go and moved on to something else. He's considered to be a major influencer in the folk art or the Mingei movement in Japan. And he's credited creating a worldwide interest in Japanese ceramics. His second son followed in his footsteps, and now his great-grandson is also working within Mashiko on Shoji Hamada's land, where he has his studio. The popularity in Mashiko is directly attached to Hamada, not to traditional styles or long-term production, such as the 6 ancient kiln site towns. So what I'm going to do is invite you to visit Mashiko with me for about the next 25 minutes. We're going to take a look at historical sites and museums. We're going to take a look at the Autumn Pottery Festival and the work of over 250 potters that participated in that sale. And it was a sale that started on Thursday and went through Tuesday. So imagine doing the coordination for that. Show you some work that is on display in local galleries. And then we're going to drop into a workshop and take a look at some techniques that may be new and different, or maybe just interesting to see. And then when we get done with that, if you guys have any questions, I'll try to answer them, okay? So with that said, let's see. Sorry, give me a minute. I thought this was ready. Why am I not seeing this? This is weird. My desktop's not coming up.
Zaki yesterday, and he he gave me some things I need to redo.
れは豆し側なんだけど、これをこういうふうに。で、こっちを切るところをこう爪で軽く印つけてから、これをこんなにやったらダメ。水平に入れる。それで入れたらこう。止めてもいいの。
It's scary when it's hot. Yeah. Okay. Hi.
汗かくでしょ。
汗。私ももう少し勝負します。勝負も。
あれが一番難しい。特に柔らかい時に、ソフトな時には一番難しい。
It's the hardest part when this clay is very soft and shoulder and shoulder.
Yeah, this must be hard to stick off the floor.
Yeah. He has a lot of puffer fish over there.
Oh yeah.
It's hard.
でこれをこういうふうにやらないとこのままでやると全部360度回らない。こうやらないと。こうやらないと。
If you don't do this, you cannot turn it 360.
じゃあやるからよく見てください。
この2は何ですか？
ぬか、白の中に。
So this is the white glaze. The ash glaze.
これでこう入れて、
Almost looks like clay.
こうね。こう入れて、こう。
Looks like clay.
Yeah.
でこれは多分これぐらいかぶせて20、ここは1タイム2タイム2回、これがこういうようになってるの。
So
これを
that is the part that overlaps.
いっぱいかぶせたいなら、ここまでかぶせたいなら、これをここまでやればいい。白。
So if you put it like a bit thicker, not thicker, but put it lower and overlaps a bit more, the white part is gonna be more like yeah.
Like more combined?
So the white part will be more here.
Oh, okay. If you overlap more? I thought it would be the
次
other
は
way.
やるたんびに混ぜた方がいい。混ぜないと沈殿する。それで上が薄くなる。
And then the top part will be like thinner because it goes down.
で時々よく混ぜる。Sometimes mixing. でもこれをなるべく私はまっすぐ入れようとするんだけど、まあ斜めになったりもする時あるよ。でそれ自分が好きなようにやればいい。
This is his style and this is how he wants it to be. Other people have different styles.
そうね。
You make it look so easy. I'm so bad with glazing.
こう
You're hungry?
No, it's just the food I ate this morning. Lots of potato.
じゃあこれやったら皆さん一人2つずつやってみてね。
So each of us gets to glaze 2 pieces. Okay. Go down all the way, and then it's gonna
And it
flow
will gonna
in
get
the
stuck in the
milk.
milk and
Yeah.
それで私はいつもこういうふうにやる。
So this way, it stops there.
そうそれでこの黒茶色この色も好きだからいつもやる。
He also likes the effect of the colors. That's
Cool.
why he does.
これもやるときこうやったらこう360度行くの大変だからここからこうね直角から。
So you really twist it like that.
そうじゃあ見てね。
inside to the outside?
Let's see. I'm also confused how that works.
じゃあこうやるときこうやったら5台だけ水を軽くつけたら
Does that add wax or just
Water.
water?
でこう薬が薄くかかる水を一回やると。
If you put the water, the
Doesn't
glaze,
stick
で
that much?
これも
it becomes
手もこうやらないと薄く。 でこう
So he puts the water to make so that the glaze doesn't stick so much. So it's
こうやらなくてもいい。
absorbs less
Yeah, yeah.
because it's already
この
wet.
ままこのままでもいいから。
And then this part he just wipes out?
ここは取ってもいいし、あとで拭くから。
yes.
で でもこう鋼材がこうやるから静かにやって足したらこっちがかからないからこう入れてポコンとやる。
So there is a, how do I say, a depth here. So you have to do this motion, so it also covers this part.
Look at me. こうやって。
That's my That's the potatoes.
What did you have for breakfast?
Potato salad. Lots of potatoes. And my mother-in-law came last night. Very short notice. And she brought some food, and I'm so happy.
So no water that time.
これは水がない大丈夫。
いや水つけた方が滑りやすい。
So it's easier to remove it if you put the water.
こう水をつけた方がこう取りやすい。
There we have it. I hope you enjoyed it.
It was really great. That's some beautiful. That's all I have to say. Do people have questions for Foz?
I just want to say the video itself was just phenomenal. Thank you, Foz, for sharing.
My sister lives in Japan, and I saw one of the pieces she's given me go by in your pictures, kind of a eggplant colored bowl with an eggplant design in the bottom of it. I thought, oh, I own that one.
That's cool. Yeah, the one thing that when the foot wedging, and I have to admit I didn't watch it all the way through. I thought it was good, but they actually go through that process 5 times.
Oh my gosh.
In the absence of having a pug mill, you go through creating that sort of mandala of clay 5 times in order to get it the consistency right.
Did you try that?
I videotaped it.
Okay.
due to some physical limitations I was experiencing, I just videotaped it.
Wow.
Mm.
Was there
Was
another?
that-
Oh, go ahead.
Was that a demonstration workshop, or was it participatory also?
It was totally participatory and included also constructing ongis.
I found it interesting that the guy glazing just seemed to be stirring the top couple inches of his glaze and not the bottom. I mean, when I glaze, I usually go all the way to the bottom trying to keep it from settling, but evidently that's not a concern.
Well, he did stir the bucket well before he started, but he did not go down to the bottom when he was glazing. Yeah. So, thanks for letting me share it with you all.
So when are you planning a tour? When are you planning a tour?
Well, so I'm interested in. I've been trying to figure out the right words. I'm looking at potentially facilitating a participatory adventure focused on ceramics in Japan for seasoned travelers. It will not be a tour. Everybody's going to be in charge and responsible for themselves, but we will plan together. And during whatever the period of time is, if it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or whatever part of that someone wants to be there, if in coordinating the travel efforts of the group, we can arrange for time in Mashiko, time in Ichisen, time in Seto, for some hands-on experiences. But there'll be nobody rousting you and waiting for you at 9 o'clock in the morning or saying it's time to go to dinner. So it's kind of be I'm willing to help facilitate and coach and have people get an understanding about what the opportunities are, get to a place where decisions can be made. So if somebody wants to get a group of 3 and you want to go off and do this, but you want to come back and meet the group for some kind of thing, it's going to take people that are willing to be flexible. This way you manage your own money, your own budget, you get your own plane flight that works for you. You get your hotel rooms that's at a level of accommodation that you're interested in. But you've got a supported safety net if you're not comfortable traveling alone. And there would be maybe a 3-day sort of boots on the ground orientation in country, just to go over things like reading schedules and maps and figuring out how to get places and, cues to watch out for. So if people are interested, send me an email at foz@fozceramics.com. And based on interest and people's willingness, I'll put together maybe a Zoom meeting. But it is going to be ceramic focused. I was talking to, I think, Myra earlier today. I'm not I talked to Kate because Kay Rennis just came back from Japan too, and staying out of the big cities, staying in more rural areas. So if somebody wants to go to Kyoto or spend time in Tokyo, they can do that. But that wouldn't be the focus of what I would encourage people to consider doing. So you can tack it on to the beginning, the end. So that's what I'm considering offering. So
Sounds great.
You'll keep us posted.
But let me know if you're interested.
How's your Japanese? I know you've been really studying, and how did it feel being, a year more into it, and also your second trip back? Like was the experience a little different now that you're a little more familiar with the custom, or subtle things you noticed, or how you felt, or
Yeah, I mean, I found some things. It's better to leave at dark 30 and sleep on the plane and get to Japan refreshed instead of landing kind of in the middle of the day or in the evening where you've been up all day. So I mean, that was an interesting piece. I don't have any Japanese. I mean, I understand hiragana and katakana, and I know what the words are. I don't have a lot of vocabulary, and you put kanji in the middle of it, and I can't do it. But there are enough things to help you. I mean, in the more traveled areas, most things are in English. You'll find something. I mean, there's just some things that you figure out. Google Maps is a very interesting and very helpful application to use as far as route planning and understanding transportation, as far as how to get from one place to another. The same thing with Translate or Google Translate. I mean, there are tools there for different situations. And, Kay said, if you get stuck, just ask. And generally speaking, people are willing to at least point you in the right direction. I mean, I was really confused last week and went round and round and round trying to find something. And I knew that it was not on the ground floor. I knew it was upstairs from someplace, but I couldn't find it. And I asked at the information station the second time, and the woman actually came with me and took me right to where I needed to go. So, two things that I learned: that when you're there, the universe really will provide if you get out of your way. And 2, there are a lot of guardian angels. I mean, I met some amazing people, had some amazing experiences in off the beaten path places that would not have happened in the rushing crowds of Kyoto or Tokyo. So.
Do you bring back with you any pottery or tools?
Yes, and yes. I was going to say, I have, I mailed a few things home, but this is a guinomi, and there, it's about I don't think it's 2 inches high, and it's not probably 2 inches round, and it's black clay, and it has this sort of streaks of bumpy glaze on it. It's really quite fun. And this is from the same potter. Let me get rid of the background. If I do that, it'll be...
Or if you hold it directly in front of you and not off to the side of you, that will help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's another guinomi. So like this is for sake. And the thing that I like about this is it does what a lot of Japanese ceramic, they talk about a pot having a landscape, so that as you turn it around, it tells a story on the different faces of it. You know, most of the things that we, cone 6, it's a uniform glaze. The pot's pretty much the same appearance, but this is very different. I really liked this potter, and this actually is the piece that got my attention in the very beginning. And I picked it up.
Ooh.
And I thought, what is this? It has slits up the side from the bottom. And then this. And I looked at it and I said, oh, it's a lampshade. This is where a fitting could go. And he said, no, it's a planter. And so I thought immediately of my friend Terry and said, well, maybe Terry might be interested in this form, but I think it might be worth playing as a light fixture.
Are those all wood fired?
No, none of these are wood fire.
Are they gas or electric?
These are gas fired. Yeah, there's a lot right now that are just gas fired. So in Mashiko, I had bought a pot last year there's a father and son that have a gallery in town. And if you've been in the gallery, you see I've got these like wooden boxes now for my stuff, but the lids on these boxes, sometimes typically will have something that identifies the potter. It may identify what's in the box if it's a guinomi, and it may say Mashiko on it. So this is one of the things that I learned, and I'll sort of get into that. But this again, I'm into small pieces because they're easy to transport. This again, it's black clay, and it's very similar to a piece that I bought from the Sun last year. This has less slip. I don't know if you can see it. There's slip on the inside. So there's white slip on the inside, a little bit on the outside. But he scratches designs on the outside of the pot. And this one has a little tiny red spot on it. So this now becomes kind of a pair to the one I bought last year. So I was excited about that. The other thing, you probably didn't see it, but on the map, and when you go to Mashiko, if you go from Tokyo, you take the bullet train, and it stops in a town called Utsunomiya. And from Utsunomiya, you take a bus, because to take the train is painful, and you have to change 3 or 4 times, and it takes forever. The bus, even though it's almost 90 minutes, is less tenuous. But in Utsunomiya, there's a secondhand store. And so I had time. So I went over to this shopping area where the secondhand store is, and I went in, and I wound up finding a couple pieces that I was interested in. So both of these say guinomi on them. So we're this sort of sideways pointing V is with the dashes up there, the apostrophes, that's the word Guinomi. And so I, for a fraction of the price that I was buying things, I was able to pick up these actually very beautiful. This is a wood-fired piece. It's from Bizen. And the thing about it, both of these have like their, is it provenance? So they both come with the information about the potter and basically what their history is. So it tells a little story. So that's one. I was really excited about getting that. And this one again, this one, same as the other one, it says Guinomi on it. And this is, I got this because it's a white crackle glaze. And it has some sort of texture to it. But I thought it was just a really good example. And this one, again, came with the provenance, and it actually shows the gallery location where the pot was purchased. And this artist's name is Sato. So it's interesting if you take the time to sort of wander the back streets and explore. You can find some pretty amazing stuff. So that's what
Does
I got.
anyone else have any comments or questions for Foz? Speak now, and you're gonna have to speak because I can't see everybody. Thank you. That was wonderful, wonderful presentation. And there's just some beautiful pots there. And it's got me thinking, as it should, all of us. So, everybody, next time, everybody's invited to everyone's various sales and events. And don't forget the potluck on the 14th. And enjoy your Thanksgiving. Don't eat too much. Take care.
Thank you, Foz.
You're welcome.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Fascinating.
Thanks, Foz.
Okay. Take care.
This maybe, so you can
Bye,
go on
Foz.
the 14th.
Bye.
We could arrange this trip to Phoenix.
That was terrific, Foz. Thanks.
Well, thank you all for coming.
Yeah, that was
Appreciate
really
you
good.
hanging out.
Really good, Foz.
Yeah.
Makes me want to go to Japan.
I am going, so I will talk to you.
All right, cool.
When are you going?
1984. All right, get some rest. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you
Thanks.
all.
Bye.
Bye. So you want me to shut everybody off or?
Just saying
Okay.
thanks. Thanks again. Bye-bye. Have a good night. Get some sleep.
Yeah.